and gentlemen, welcome to PowerDrift. And since you have clicked on this video, I'm pretty sure you have questions. Questions about this, the new Kia Carens Clavis. Questions like what is the Kia Carens Clavis and what makes this the Clavis and where does the Clavis sit in the Kia portfolio? And you want to know everything about it. So let's quickly dive into it and tell you everything the Carens Clavis has to offer. As the name suggests, the Clavis is said to be a more premium version of the Carens from the Korean car maker. This means the standard Carens, yes, the one we all know, will continue as is. The Carens Clavis, it moves up the ladder sitting at the top for those who like a bit more flair and finesse in their lives. Now that you know what the Kia Carens Clavis is, let's quickly dig into all the similarities. Silhouette? Same. Cladding? Same. Dimensions? Almost the same. And the seating layout? Same yet again. The Clavis adopts Kia's latest design philosophy, the one you've already seen on the EV6, Ceros and the flagship EV9. It's all about sharp lines, detailing and a bolder presence. We're talking LED lighting on both ends that looks properly sharp and I personally like it. The bumpers freshened up with a few subtle nips and tucks. Wheels all new and they definitely add to the upscale vibe. But the exterior is not where the updates stop, because on the inside is where the Carens Clavis really flexes. I mean, a new steering wheel, updated screens, new upholstery and an ADAS level 2 safety system. Well, that was the Kia Carens Clavis for you. Tell me in the comments what you feel about the car and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Seriously, you geniuses thought that was the end? The Clavis gets major interior updates. The seats, they feel more premium, they feel more plush. Yes, there are new interior color schemes and this definitely makes the cabin feel more upmarket. But apart from that, what I'd strongly recommend is getting the 6-seater options, because this does not only give you better room for the second row, this also adds for slide and recline function for the captain's seats. There are two problems though. One, I really thought Kia would give the second row ventilation, because this would have been a great addition. And number two is this. The air purifier is still right behind the driver's seat, which is a huge eyesore, and B, this definitely eats up into the legroom for the second row. I am 6'1" by the way. Even with this, I have adequate legroom when I sit in the second row. But as soon as someone needs to sit behind me, that is what happens. So this is definitely going to be a hindrance. Apart from all of this, the in-cabin experience from the second row is really nice. It's really plush. It's really pleasant. And with the giant sunroof, it just opens up the entire cabin even further. But now let me show you what the third row feels like. Well, the third row is not just for kids anymore. Well, of course, it's always been with the Carens. The Carens was a very spacious car from the start. And even with this, with the updated upholstery and everything, there is literally no dearth of space. Both these seats are adjusted to my height and I'm sitting in the third row. And of course, I can't do this for a very long journey. But for the quick stints, this is completely fine. Of course, your kids can be in the back seat and have a great time, because you have independent AC vents on the top and cup holders in the third row. So all of this together make for a great package. And of course, you have Type-C charging ports as well. So of course, your kids are completely sorted. But the real party trick lies in the first row. So let's get in there and tell you what is updated on the front. Because by the way, that's where all the huge updates are. Well, the first row is where the Clavis really stands out. I mean, you get a new steering wheel, you get a huge panoramic display, one for the driver and for the infotainment. A new switchable cluster for the AC controls and the media controls. By one touch of the button, the entire thing switches. You have new upholstery that's blue and beige. And apart from all of this, the cabin feels like a really nice place to be in. Of course, you still have the ventilated seats in the first row. This shifter has been updated as well. You have a wireless charger, a lot of space to hold your goodies, and a ventilated compartment as well. Now that we've covered everything on the inside, let's talk about how the Clavis drives. The Clavis carries forward the same powertrains as the standard Carens. You get the 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine, the 1.5 litre turbo petrol, and the tried and tested 1.5 litre turbo diesel. Power figures, same as before. Gearbox options also unchanged. DCT and IMT with the turbo petrol, torque converter with the diesel, and a manual with the naturally aspirated. But there are a few notable changes. Changes in the form of a little rejig in the lineup and the addition of a gearbox to an engine. Well, just allow me to explain. What I mean to say is that the 1.5 litre turbo petrol, that engine that we all really like and love, and we've seen it in other Kia and Hyundai cars as well, that engine now is paired to a manual gearbox with the Clavis. This is not really an enthusiast car, but what this does, or what this enables, is Kia to give you the turbo petrol engine at a far more accessible price. Now at this point I don't really know the price of the Clavis, but I'm pretty sure that Kia is going to price this very competitively, and with that turbo petrol manual gearbox configuration, you're going to get one of the Carens Clavises that's going to be slotted very smartly in between the entire variant lineup, which is going to be the car to buy if you are looking for the turbo petrol but your budget is not really fitting in with the automatic or the IMT, or you are a fleet operator. These are one of two cases where this will actually make a lot of sense. However, there is an issue. There's no real diesel-powered flagship variant of the Clavis. The diesel auto is only available in the mid-trim variants, while the diesel manual is available with the HTX. That's one under the flagship, missing out on a 6-seater option and ADAS. And I am not really sure why Kia has done this, because this is actually a very nice car to drive. And if you're not going to give your luxury customers or your premium customers that option of the diesel, then I feel that's a bit of a bummer. I know people up north are going to have, or are going to say, what's the point? We can't really drive diesels anyway. But yeah, a few of us, we still really love our diesel engines, especially if you're mile munching in 7-seaters or with SUVs. I really like my diesel engines in SUVs and MPVs because you get great mileage and the engine has like loads and loads of torque from the bottom end as well. This engine and this gearbox, which is the 1.5 litre turbo petrol, is mated to the 7-speed DCT that we know already. We always have known that that's the configuration that Kia has been running. And yeah, the drive, the powertrain is identical. There's no change. So the power figure is the same, the torque figure is the same. The gearbox is updated, that like we've seen on all of the Hyundai and Kia models with the new DCT that they have. It's quick, it's easy to use, and there are no weird jerks at all from this gearbox. So great job. And then you have good power delivery as well all throughout the rev range. So yeah, there is enough power, enough punch. It has everything that you need from that turbo petrol DCT combination. So all of that on arrow straight highways, great. Even in the corners, it's going to be great.
For on-demand performance from vehicles like the Carens Clavis, Castrol's Edge SUV engine oil claims 80% improved high-load performance. This fully synthetic engine oil is BS6 ready and enables superior performance and better acceleration.
Now let's move on to the next problem the Carens has been associated with, which is its stiffly sprung setup. Where with the Carens Clavis, Kia has assured us that they've worked on the suspension tuning a tad bit, and I can confirm there has been a change. Yes, it still has that typical Kia stiffness that we've always associated the suspension setup with the Sonet and the Seltos as well, where it's got this thud if you go over something a little too hot. But apart from that, it glides over everything, literally. Like, we've gone through quite a lot of bad patches today and it's done that effortlessly. But the under-thigh support for the driver is a problem. I'm 6'1" and I barely have any under-thigh support. So that's going to be a big bummer, especially for taller people. And if you're doing longer distances, yes, that's going to be a bummer as well. And especially if you're driving the manual, The driving position is actually very nice. The seat with the adjustability, and now you also get adjustability that's electronic for slide and recline. Of course, the height adjustment is still manual, but slide and recline is automatic, which is also a great addition. You have this nice textures going on in the front. You have accents, subtle accents. You have a lot of cloth that's used as well. And the leather seats, the leather on the steering wheel. I honestly like the new steering wheel that Kia is giving with its new cars. Great addition. Overall, while the Carens Clavis is a solid case, there are issues. The lack of a diesel flagship being the first, and then you have the lack of ADAS and 6-seater options, and many such features which are only reserved for the flagship variant. Who is the Clavis for? Well, if you are someone who's looking for the practicality and versatility of an MPV, but want a little more premium vibe, more tech, and a new age design flair, the Clavis makes a strong case for itself. Well, think of it more as a premium Carens and not a replacement, because the Carens will always exist for the value-conscious crowd. But speaking of the Clavis, it's for those who want to step it up without going full-blown SUV. Kia is offering a variety of trim and variant options, giving you the perfect one for your driving style and your family. Well, coming back to the last question of where this will slot, while prices are still not out, we think this will be priced somewhere around the 15 to 22 lakh rupee price point, putting this right in the middle of the MPV scene. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Do tell me your thoughts, what you felt about the Clavis in the comments below. And like the video, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to PowerDrift, because we have a power-packed month and a lot more action coming right on your screens. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.